Hey, good morning and good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It is Monday at around 11 a.m. here, Central Time in the US. And so that means it is time for another weekly supply chain events update. Let's take a look at what's going on, last week, this week, the coming weeks. There's a lot coming on. We've got a lot of events going on. It's a little bit like we send the students and the kids back to school, and then the adults come out to play with conferences and trade shows and whatnot. So I'm going to pull up a window here so I can share, give some visuals. All right, let's go for it. So quick note before we do get kicked off here in earnest, a quick shout out to the calendar of events sponsors. We've got Intralogistics that you'll maybe notice as a banner here for the first time, a first timer here. Intralogistics is a show for, as you would imagine, logistics that goes on within warehouses. And this is put on by a group that's out of the UK and has been putting on really massive shows there in Europe, throughout Europe, really. And they are hosting their second event here in the U.S. This is specifically in Miami, and they are also hosting an award show the night before. So they also host the Supply Chain Innovation Awards the night before this event starts. So as you can see, they also do have Intralogistics in Asia Pacific and MEA. So a shout out to those folks. That's going to be happening later on in September in Miami. Also, shout out to my other sponsor, CSCMP. Uh, you're going to see a number of CSCMP events in the schedule. And that's because CSCMP has roundtables all across the US and actually all across the world that put on lots of events and shows and opportunities for people to network. And so if you're ever looking for something, there's probably something going on near you. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened last week. We'll just have a quick click here. So two things that I went to last week. Actually, I think I did a bit of a happy hour networking thing just about every day of the week last week. So first was on Monday. There was an event with CSCMP DFW, RGP, which is a major consulting firm that I actually hadn't really been on my radar until recent months, really, and also the University of North Texas. And so this was a panel discussion where they had some supply chain leaders from Texas Instruments, from Vistra, and from Alcon talking about resilience and visibility and whatnot in supply chain. And that was at the Petroleum Club in Dallas, the venue that you're seeing here. It was pretty sweet setup there. Also, last week was the ASCM North Texas Happy Hour. That was on Thursday. Everyone, puts their events on Thursdays. It's the best day to have networking events, and so Thursdays are always busy everywhere. And so this was the North Texas ASCM group got together for what I believe is about a quarterly happy hour just to get folks together. This was at a bar, and cool thing is I met someone that's an author of a book. And he was handing out books there, and it turns out there he is right there. It turns out we were really closely connected when I was at Texas Instruments, but didn't realize it at the time. So, what is going on this week? So, let's go scroll on over here. And just a quick note that everything that we're going to look at, talk about, whatnot today is all here on the events calendar on the Supply Chainy website under events. So, this week we've got the DFW Cargo Association hosting their quarterly luncheon. MHI is hanging out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My friend Bart DeMunk is hosting a workshop for a webinar, actually, is the right word. Bart is hanging out and hosting a webinar on essential insights for shippers. That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, one of the coolest things that I haven't yet gotten myself to yet is the National Truck Driving and Step Van Driving Championships. I've been wanting to go to this for a while, haven't got there yet. I've always thought this idea of competing in the logistics and supply chain space beyond just winning business, but like actually, where the rubber hits the road is always such a cool concept. I hope to get to that show one day. CSCMP is hosting a summer soiree in Chicago, and this seems to be hosted with their friends. And who was it? Blue Yonder. There you go, Blue Yonder and that's going to be at the Wrigley Rooftop. There's also a little bit of something going on at the Tomasello Winery in Cranford, New Jersey, as well. Let's see. The Houston Roundtable is doing a market insights hosted by Sonar. The ISM New Jersey chapter is hosting a summer meetup that's taking place at the Stage House Tavern in Somerset, New Jersey. That's on Wednesday. On Thursday, we've got the Supply Chain Social Club hosting our weekly Global Trade Cafe that takes place the third Thursdays of every month at 10 a.m. This month, we're really excited to announce an extra partner for this event, which is the Simply Trade podcast, which I was on, and I think that event or that episode is going to go live today. But I've got Simply Trade's sticker right here close to me. So they are partnering along with ICPA and ETA, which is the European Trade Association, for the August edition of the Global Trade Cafe. On Tuesday, the 26th, if we just scoot forward a little bit, maybe to next week, we've got a trade awareness and compliance fundamentals dinner that ISM Fort Worth is hosting. And we've also got The Source, also at the Supply Chain Social Club. This is, as you might imagine, for the procurement and sourcing folks of the world. The Transportation Club is hosting a nearshoring panel that is going to be on Wednesday next week. And I guess the other last thing maybe to mention for next week is an end of summer pool party happening at the Supply Chain Social Club. So this is for everyone who attends the Warehousing After Dark, the Global Trade Cafes, the Sources, the Revenue Roundtables, everything we do at Supply Chain. This is just to bring everyone together, have a little bit of a virtual hangout by the virtual pool at the Supply Chain Social Club. So that's a little bit about what's coming up. Let's maybe dig into a little bit of the big events where you'll be able to find me here coming up in the next few weeks. So first of all, we're just 15 days out from the Panama Supply Chain Forum going on in Panama, not Panama Beach in Florida, but Panama where the big canal is. Also, we've got Change North America coming up. This is in Columbus, Ohio, September 9th through 10th. And I'll be hanging out with Bart, who is the chair of this conference, and lots of other folks. And actually, later today, I've got a podcast interview with someone that is going to be one of the speakers. So I'm looking forward to having that chat and releasing that podcast episode. Also, very recently, got to hang out a little bit and get to know my friends at Ship Hero, who are hosting a bit of an exclusive sort of get together of a summit for folks that are in the warehousing and distribution space. This is going to be in Las Vegas, and so if you are interested, I would suggest that you hop over here. I'll have a link to it on the calendar where you can go register. But this is going to be a pretty cool event going on in Vegas here on September 16th and 17th. We scoot forward a little bit more to October. We've got CSCMP Edge going on just outside of Washington, D.C. I think this would be somewhere in the like sixth or seventh or eighth of these events that I've been to. So always a good time to hang out with the CSCMP crowd. Speaking of which, really looking forward to the SoCal Tech Summit on October 17th. That's going to be going on at the University of California, Long Beach in the Pyramid Building. And I'm really excited to be emceeing that event this year and seeing everyone out there in Long Beach. It's been a minute since I've been out there. Also, we've got the Work North Texas Annual Conference, the 24th time. It's the mini ProMat that goes on here in North Texas. And then lastly, but not leastly, on the calendar of events for where I will be coming up is Deliver Americas also hanging out and going on in Vegas. This one looks like it's going to be pretty exciting. These folks Deliver, been doing this for about 10 years or so, and they know how to put on a party. So looking forward to that and seeing everybody else out there. One thing that I would just mention real quick is that there is a little bit of a development on the Where is Nathan site. So you may be familiar with this, where Sergey put together a little beacon to track me wherever I might be in the world or where I've been. But they also added in my Instagram sort of feed so that you can actually see the videos and whatnot of what's going on in the places that I'm attending and what I'm doing. So that's just a little bit of fun there. And again, kind of like that agenda of where I'm at and being able to see where I'm in the world is all right there. You know, transparency is something that I'm not short on. That's for sure. So, uh, also just kind of as we kind of finish up here, is there anything that I missed? There's tons and tons of events every year, and they can't all get on the calendar, can't possibly keep up with all of them. So would just put the call out to you all to let me know what events you're attending, what events your organization is hosting, and want to make sure to get them on the calendar and get some visibility out there so that everyone knows and is aware of what's going on. Because really, at the end of the day, supply chain success and performance and efficiency is hinged largely on connections with people. And I think that's where the magic is. So, well, for those of you all that are traveling out there to grow your business or your networks, be safe and have fun out there.